Let's play Celebrity True or False with Sebastian Maniscalco before we send him on his way right here, where we take a couple of items from previous interviews that you've conducted or sitting there in bio pages on the internet. I know how much you love the internet. Let's do it here with Sebastian.
Celebrity True
Keeping it real.
or False.
All right, I believe these are all going to be true based on the fact that you say you gravitate towards the people who are working events, that you are hanging out at an award show. First up for Celebrity True or False, you worked at an Olive Garden as a teenager. Is that a true story?
That's true. I worked at the Olive Garden in Schaumburg, Illinois.
Okay.
Right outside Woodfield Mall. And
how were you? Well, I mean,
that was pretty fantastic.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was. I've been a waiter now, 10 years, pretty much. I waited tables for 10 years, and I just had a way with it. I got upset with a lot of people.
How so? What do you mean?
Yeah, well, I used to work at a high-end hotel here in Beverly Hills. Used to work at the Four Seasons.
That was my next one for you. You worked as a waiter at the Four Seasons when you first moved here to LA?
1998 to 2005. I worked in the Windows Lounge. And coming out here from Chicago, Chicago people honest and they're I don't know. The Beverly Hills crowd, I had to adjust my mindset. A woman would come in and she'd have a wine glass and she'd take a sip. She'd be like, "Oh, do you have a thinner wine glass that doesn't rest on my lips correct?" And I'd have to go in the back and scream,
But what do you say to them?
Absolutely. We have that, no problem. You have to put an act on.
Because on the other side of things, when somebody says the word absolutely to me, I'm sitting there thinking, this is some very fine service.
Yeah. And then I got to go scream into a pillow at night. So, but yeah, I thought I was a pretty good waiter.
Okay. At Olive Garden as well?
Olive Gardens, that's where I started. I used to work banquets at the Hyatt Hiltons. I had a lot of jobs. Honey baked ham. I was glazing ham for a while.
What do you mean you were glazing ham? What are you talking about?
I come from a family where there's no vacation off of college. When you come home for Christmas break, it's like, what do you doing? So I was glazing hams at Honey Baked Ham with a full, suit on with a torch, and I would glaze turkey and ham for the holidays. Come home smelling like meat. Mm-hmm. My father told me undress in the garage, so I'd come in my underwear because he didn't want to smell the turkey or the ham, so because all my clothes smelled like it, and I was all over the map.
What's the biggest tip you ever got?
$2,000.
Jeez.
Yeah, a guy used to come in there and drop some heavy money. I don't know what he was doing.
Now, was this like a 15, 20% tip, or just like on a bill of like $200, leaving something that was?
He would come in, he'd order a Coke, he'd give me $100, right? That's how this guy was. And this guy was there for about a year. So one of the stories, he asked me, I'm going to have a meeting with some business associates up in the penthouse. And this is when I first started comedy. I was three years in. He goes, you want to come up and do a show for us? I go, I'm working. He goes, you come up during your break, do the show. I want to make it kind of special, so I want to have you act like your room service, and you come in and I don't like the order, and I want to hit you over the head with a chair, but it's going to be a breakaway chair. And I'm going, I don't know if that's under the Four Seasons policy. I don't even know if I could do that. So I asked my manager, I go, he wants me to come up. He goes, you could go up, but don't use the chair. So I'm waiting to go up. He had given me $500 cash already.
Jeez.
And he never called. So the next day I go, what happened? He goes, we canceled the meeting. I go, well, here's your money back. You gotta keep it. So that's the way this guy was for a year. I paid for a car waiting on this guy.
His name was Vince McMahon. Hey, man, Sebastian, I'm so happy about your success. You're a very, very funny man.
Thank you.
Madison Square Garden for me is the Mecca, being from New York City. So congrats on having a fourth show added, because your first three have been sold out. SebastianLive.com. And then Green Book. Congratulations in advance on this film. It's going to have some legs, as they say here in this town.
Thank you. Hopefully, I'll be on stage at the Oscars if they ask me to come.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.